Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and today I'm going to be going over the quickest methods to gain maps as well as approximately the amount of resources that you get per hour from doing maps. This of course is due to the 4 times speed increase, making both of these quite a bit quicker, so I figured I'd give updated data for both of them. I'll be doing this for all resources, but we'll be starting with treasure maps and the treasure hunt minigame today, as this is the one that newer players tend to use. So what exactly are treasure maps? Treasure maps are things that you get from quite a variety of ways. You can buy them for glory within the glory shop for 30 each. You get them from the spoilers of war, though you don't really do that. You get them in 7 times cascade whenever you do it from battles, and some troops end up giving it. And what this allows is you to play a treasure hunt minigame, which gives a wide variety of resource within the game. As far as the absolute best method for this, you'll be using a Tyri. You obtain Tyri from completing out the Zhul'kari kingdom for free, and getting a second one can definitely increase the rates that you get for maps by quite a bit. I'll be showing some teams for that, but let's get into what the actual treasure hunt is. So you use one treasure map whenever you go into it, and you just match a bunch of gems to make them into bigger resources, and then you get a bunch of resources at the end of it based on how many are remaining on the board, and the bigger tier the rewards are on the board, the more you will get. As far as using treasure hunt the most efficiently, it's actually best just to move wherever, not even really paying much attention to what on earth your move is. These days, due to the 4 times speed and how long it takes to actually play a treasure map the right way, it's actually not viable at all these days to play it the right way. Maybe in the future it will be, but to get the absolute best resource rates per hour, you can easily do 1 per hour just by doing that very quickly. And as far as how far this ends up averaging, you can see we end up getting a very wide range of resources. Every 15 we get a Traitstone, and the rest of these are based on whatever we get. Rates can be quite random, but after doing it for about an hour, this is what I end up getting as data for it. So it is around 600 glory, 50,000 gold, 4,000 souls, 30 gems, and 80 Traitstones per hour approximately. This is technically slightly less slower than that, because if you don't, or slightly slower than that, mainly because if you don't already have the treasure maps, you're going to need to go out of your way to actually farm the treasure maps. But assuming you have all the treasure maps, those values right there is how much it would give approximately per hour. Of course, it could change from hour to hour, given that you may get a lot more gold in 1 hour than compared to souls or something. The drops on it are excessively random, and it has a very, very wide range as far, but that is approximately the average for it. So how exactly will you be farming maps? The easiest way to do this is to go over to Broken Spire over here, go into challenges, and go over to Stonewall, and there are 2 teams that you can do with for this. You can either use both of them use the Frozen Banner, which is +2 blue, +1 purple, -1 red. If you are a newer player, you would use something like this: Dryad, Goblin, Shaman, Dryad, and a Tyri. And if you have a second Tyri, you would replace out the second Dryad for your second Tyri. And the quicker team is this one right here, and the one I would advise using if you have all these components, which is Green Seer, which is an epic, Giant Spider, which is an ultra rare, and 2 Tyries, one of which you get for free, as I mentioned, from completing out the Zhul'kari kingdom. As far as difficulty, it doesn't really matter too much. One thing to note about map farming is that you do need to actually complete out the battle in order to claim your resources. If you just exit out of the battle by surrendering or retreating, or exiting out in any other way, you will not actually obtain the resources for completing out the battle. So how many maps does this team end up giving per hour? As of this current moment, it gives approximately 120 per hour. I can easily average 2 maps every single hour. You can see right there, very first cast, we end up getting a map. This is because Tyri has a 20% chance every single time she casts to gain a map. There are a couple trips that also have a 20% chance. Tyri is way better than all of them, though, because she can actually accumulate her mana. She destroys gems, and of course, destroy, compared to remove doesn't gain any mana, but destroy does. So if she does this on green or purple, she would end up gaining all of her mana back as well. So basically all you do is just keep removing whatever from the board. Doesn't really matter for the most part. You do want to try avoiding green or purple if you can, but if you do run out of mana or about to run out of mana on them, like right here, we can go and throw it on a green and just get our mana back that way. And of course, we do have Giant Spider and Green Seer available to throw at any time, and you basically just do this until either you lose or the enemy wins. It actually doesn't matter if you lose or win. You still get all of the maps, so don't even really bother with trying to not die. The only reason I specifically do this challenge is because it goes a little bit longer due to the fact that the first troop here has 0 attack until at least the Luther cast on it, so you can end up racking up quite a bit in that downtime while it can't do any damage to you. And of course now he can, so he's going to slowly start killing us down. And yeah, you just accumulate maps like this. It can be very random sometimes. Sometimes you'll get it every single cast. Other times you can go like 12 casts and not get a single map. But this is currently, and always has been, the quickest method for obtaining maps. And right now we have like no options on the board. Should probably not go that slow, but just let him do all of his things. Wouldn't even mind if he kills us, because that might be quicker than us killing out him. But it's just take out whatever. We'll take our mana right there. But yeah, just keep getting those down. Still haven't gotten a map. Been a while since we got a map here. Come on, give us a map. At least we're getting extra turns if nothing else, but it's not giving us those maps we need. We can also get it from a 7x Cascade if we were to get lucky enough to actually land a 7x Cascade. But that doesn't happen too often. It will happen just from when you're randomly doing any team, just here and there. But for the most part, this will be how you accumulate a good majority of your maps. And come on, give us a map. We've gone like 8 casts now with 0 maps. It is a 20% chance, so technically with perfect luck you will get a map every 5 casts. This team does go a little bit slower once the both the Spider and the Tyri die, because then you just have, or sorry, the Spider and the Green Seer, because once that goes down, all you have is double Tyri, and double Tyri, while it can get its mana back once you kind of remove all the purple and then remove all the green, you don't really have a follow-up option from there. So I'm removing the green now, since it's a lot more important that we have the purple on the board due to the fact that we have a Giant Spider right now, but we don't have a Tyri. You also put the Giant Spider in second slot. The main reason for this is so that when your Tyri dies, you're still going to be able to keep doing your Giant Spider like what we're doing right now. If we had the Green Seer up front, it wouldn't be able to keep making tanks for us, but as you can see right now, we're keep making infinite tanks due to the way that we have the team set up. So we just keep doing this. It's got our 4th map right there, and yeah, this averages about 2 per minute, and that would end up being, of course, then 120 maps per hour. And I will show the budget team real quick right after this. The budget team is around 60 to 70 maps per hour. It is quite noticeably less maps, obviously, but for the most part, it's not that much worse. Obviously, about 2 times worse, but as far as just starting off in the game, that's when you mainly need them, and it's still going to be sufficient enough to work out pretty well. Compared to without 4 times speed, it used to only be about like 20 or 30 with that team, so it does gain quite a big of a increase as well. So at this point, just kind of trying to get our mana. I might as well just poke him out, or there he goes, he can defeat us. So this will show that if we actually lose, we still get all 6 of our maps. It just matters that you complete out the battle. It doesn't matter what the result of the battle is, you will still claim all the maps. And you can go up to 20, though generally if you're doing something like that, you are going to die. Unless you get excessively good luck, you're going to die before you actually reach 20. So let me just show this. I'm not going to show the full battle right here, but I'll just kind of show you the general premise of using this team. So probably maybe normal difficulty. Probably if you were using this team, you probably would be going with normal difficulty. So we will go and lower it down. The only reason I had it on a harder difficulty was so the enemy would kill us a bit quicker, which seems a bit odd. The only reason I do this skate challenge is because it has a slower aggressive start. So this makes it so it won't end up killing out our first slot for the Green Seer Giant Spider combo. That's the main reason why I end up using it. Other than that, there's not really much of a reason to have it on a on this particular challenge or on a higher difficulty, but I do prefer doing it that way. So as far as barriers, you just throw it down on your first slot or whatever one doesn't have barrier. Generally, that's going to be your first slot though, because you'll need to keep it alive. Barrier in particular is quite good for newer players since it protects against a full damage instance. So regardless of how under-leveled or understated you are, you will still be protecting yourself for the same full amount every single time. Oops, I need to make sure I don't accidentally overkill him. I think every one of my skulls ends up getting a kill on him. But as you can see, it's kind of just a get one of these 2 off, and then it instantly fills up Tyri kind of combo going on here. And you never die pretty much because you can just keep using your Dryads to heal up whatever troops are getting very close to death. So, yep, this one does about 60 to 70 per hour. Still a really good amount, particularly compared to before. So, it's still very, very much worth doing earlier on in the game. One thing that I didn't mention earlier, which I probably should have, though I have many times before, treasure hunt is the absolute best thing you can do if you are a newer player and you feel like you are falling behind in the game. The main reason for this is the treasure hunt minigame gives you 0 EXP. It's the only thing that you can basically consistently keep farming over and over again that gives 0 EXP, other than just being in a good guild. So it is very highly recommended doing that if you feel like you're falling behind in PvP or just in anything in this game. Just doing a lot of treasure maps, do this for like an hour, and then go use all those treasure maps. That will give you quite a bit of resources that you can then go do to build up your team, get some Traitstones, or do whatever else. But yeah, just keep doing these cycles. I do, if we have the Goblin Shaman, I do prefer doing the Goblin Shaman, mainly because it has the automatic extra turn on it, which is quite a bit nicer. But should be able to just clear it out in a moment here. And we will get almost the same rate as the previous one, so that's kind of cool. Got a little bit luckier there. So yeah, 4 maps in however long that was. I actually don't have a timer going right now, but I did time it earlier. But yeah, there we go. That is how you farm treasure maps, and that is the rate for the treasure hunt minigame. If you still have any other questions about either of them, as far as farming maps or the treasure hunt minigame in general, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Also, one other thing I should note, which I kind of did mention a little bit earlier, but you can buy treasure maps for glory. So if you are just feel like doing a couple more and you want to throw them down on glory, that's not a awful exchange rate, mainly because you end up getting about 20% of that glory back anyways for the most part. So you're not really losing that much glory if you actually intend to play out the treasure maps. But anyways, that's everything for them. If you still have any other questions, feel free to leave them. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.